Like thought is a great tool. It's an amazing tool. We have done so many beautiful things with thought. So thought is a great thing. But it's not a truth. You're never going to be able to come to a thought that's fixed and true. So say if you have the thought, you realize that, you know, a big mistake that you've made all your life is always seeking for love in things. So say you realize that, you might believe that that's a truth. That's a truth, and it might feel so profound, and you might try to hold on to that thought. But that thought was just relevant to when it was relevant, and then it's not a truth anymore. Then what's happening is what's happening. It's objective. So you might think, okay, non-duality is that there is no body. And that's like a great way to try to describe it, that there is nobody looking out of these eyes. There's this body-mind, this character which is expressing and talking, which life is talking through. There's nobody actually experiencing. There's not somebody in time experiencing this life. That somebody in time is being experienced. And so that might be such a relief and so profound for you to realize, or maybe you realize it more and more over time. And then you begin to think that's true. And as you begin to think that's true, you begin to step into another illusion, something else, which you put tightly around you, and you try to hold on to that. And that will begin to make you confused over time, because that's not the truth. And that's not the nature of reality. The nature of reality is that everything changes, including thoughts and belief systems. The only thing that we can say is true and reality is what's happening. That's all we ever have. And even trying to say that isn't truth. It's like that isn't the way it is. All we ever have is what is. That's the reality. Everything else is debatable. Everything else comes and goes. Everything else is depending what you compare it to, because that's the fabric of language, is comparison. The truth is that this is, and that everything comes and goes in this, and that this what is an absolute mystery for the mind. Itself, the alive presence, in a way it isn't a mystery for itself. It's so ordinary and knows itself as it is itself, but it can never be described or depicted in the mind. And that for the mind is very confronting, I think. I think this is like a huge obstacle for the mind, because the mind always wants to fix it into thought. Let me grasp this in thought and hold on to it and take it to bed. And most of the time, it wants to do that because it feels afraid. That person feels afraid. It feels afraid to not think about things. It believes that there's a safety in thinking and understanding, which there is on the human level. For understanding, you know, potential dangers, that is a safety, but then there's always going to be new potential dangers. The mind is never going to make it to an end. The mind will always think of something else and do something else and change. That's the nature of thinking, that's the beauty of thinking, and that's how it's meant to be. The thoughts, the mind, thinking is always meant to evolve and change and develop. It's never meant to be stuck.